Thank you so much for staying here on News Desk. Before we took that short breather, we were discussing the banter between the CEO of the bulk oil distribution company, Senyo, and Professor Ransford Gyampo, who is with the Political Science Department at the University of Ghana. And Senyo has responded to Mr. Gyampo's criticism of his attack on the university's management, and he has advised Mr. Gyampo to inspire a modern face of what the University of Ghana should be as a young lecturer, quote unquote. So let's take your comments on that as well. And Kafui Kwesi Apia says, I love this. Our universities must wake up. I don't see this as a disrespect to the University of Ghana. UG must take this bitter pill, truth, and change for good. Isaac Nana Kofi Suman says, that's the way to go. It's time we let our leaders and lecturers know the truth. Most of the people will rain insults on you, but thank you for telling them the truth. And I was more than happy when I saw the video circulated. Ruben Eli Zoda says the university should be humble enough to accept the fact. And Emmanuel Blankson says, Senyo, is this your respectful loose talk a way of questioning or improving the status quo? I smell too much pride, he says. Be careful. And TD Jack Vespa says, we are enjoying the fight. I know there are a lot of you who are just sitting back, relaxing, but I want to believe that you've also got something to say about this. So just get onto our Facebook page and drop your thoughts and comments. Meanwhile, Mami Adra Enin says, this your I've arrived attitude. And Kobana Albabio says, you teach what fails to solve Ghana's problem and you don't feel ashamed to resign. Joseph Ofori says, who is this guy and why is the media giving him that much attention? He's just wondering. Adam Manu says, good one, Senyo. Well, someone thinks the media is hyping it, but others believe that Mr. Hosi's comment has brought to the fore what should start a national conversation. Well, Professor Gyampo, I beg your pardon, has been responding to Mr. Hosi's assertion that if the university doesn't change its ways, it will become like a Nokia 3310. This is what he had to say earlier on the Super Morning Show.
And I find it difficult to understand why he would come to the same institution and bag 3 degrees, an institution that is made up of non-thinkers. We've always been thinking. Sometimes you sleep and then you wake up and you are tired. You go to a hospital and they tell you that you are thinking. You always think. We're always thinking about what you research on and how to improve upon our quality of our teaching. We're thinking about everything. We are always thinking. And so without thinking, you cannot have scholarly works being done and all that. So that's number one. And he sought to compare our school to other private schools and said he wasn't going to be hiring people there and all that. I think he hasn't read anything about rankings of public universities. Otherwise, then he would know that none of the private universities come close to UG, for instance, in terms of global rankings and all that, in spite of the difficulties and challenges that UG goes through every year and all that. And I'm sure he's not aware that there are so many difficulties and challenges confronting the university as it stands now. The university is unable to increase even fees. We are paying, students are paying about 2,000 cedis a year. And if you go to other private universities, they are paying about $10,000 a year compared to I'm aware that the university before this academic year wanted to increase residential facility user fee. We didn't get the support of Parliament. And so how do you maintain infrastructure? How do you deal with the class sizes? One class sometimes could go as you may have as many as 1,000 and 1,500 students in a class. In spite of all these challenges, we are trying to do our best just to be able to ensure that we churn out quality students. And every year, you would come to our various offices and see we write recommendation letters to students who go out of the country and they get scholarship. After scholarship, they are hired there. Some return, but with good degree, good ratings and rankings and good qualifications.
So the debate continues. We'd like to hear what you think. Get onto our Facebook page and drop your comments there. You can also tweet at us at JoyNews on TV. And in about 30 minutes, Mapito Sibidu will be here with JoyNews Interactive and share all those thoughts with the rest of the world.